Hi, I'm Allison.
Hi, I'm Justin.
And you're listening to the Otterly Owlsome podcast. Who knows what we'll talk about?
I have something I'm dying to show you, but I want to ask about your restorative weekend.
It was much needed.
Oh.
You got to see my baby Pepper.
I did, yes. You got more pepper action than I did.
I got 2 now.
I love how they had the 4 little humps already. Like, it's already started that way.
All right. What are you showing me?
Well, I mean, is there anything else about your weekend? I don't have to show right away. I was so eager I had to get it out of my system.
No, we did nothing, and it was fantastic. Now, I take that back. We did go to Top Golf.
Did you golf?
That was fun. I mean, I play, but I'm not good. I'm good at Angry Birds.
They have Angry Birds at Topgolf? So you have to hit the...
So they build the little towers like on the screen, and you just aim. You don't have to aim. Like, that's why I'm good.
Okay, so they it's like, what's that game that's in the bars where it has the ball and they golf?
Golden Tee.
Yeah, Golden Tee. It's like,
yeah.
That can't possibly be accurate. Like, they're giving some wiggle room for the equation or whatever. Yeah. There's a brewery that's about to open just down the street from us that it's in a building that was originally like a miniature golf course with a racetrack and batting cages and stuff.
Did they keep all that?
What's that?
Did they keep all
Most of
that?
it, yeah. So the place went belly up during the pandemic because no one could go out.
Yeah.
Which was really sad because they spent a ton of money on it. And now a restaurant and a brewery is opening up in it. And the first thing they're going to open is the mini golf. They redid the course or whatever. And I was like, what a great idea.
The go-karts would be dangerous.
Yeah, so they're going to convert the go-kart to an RC track, I guess. So you have a little electric cars and you remote control them.
Okay, that's safer.
Yeah, at least the people won't get hurt, I guess.
Yeah, sounds like a brewery and a racetrack. Really good. We did go to a brewery this weekend before Top Golf.
Which one?
Savannah River.
In Savannah?
Oh. No, it's in Augusta. The Savannah River runs from Savannah all the way up here.
How was that?
So we're only like 2 hours from Savannah. We're not far.
I've never been. I heard it's beautiful.
I love Savannah.
I hear the bartenders can drink with you in Savannah.
Well, so we like this little place called Tubby's, and it's like right on River Street. Because we learned that if you go, I don't know what direction it is, one direction on River Street, it's where like the kids go. Like college kids, and they're like, I felt old. And I'm in my 30s. I felt ancient. But we like to sit at a place called Tubby's, and it's right on River Street. And anytime a cargo ship goes by, you get a free shot.
Ooh.
And so one day we got a bartender who I was like, I think a cargo ship went by. And she goes, okay. And then, like a few minutes later, we're like, we think another one went by. She's like, all right.
That is why I don't do shots.
Yeah. It was like a really weak, like grapefruit or pineapple something. Like it wasn't
the real thing.
A good shot.
It wasn't like a little bit of Jameson or... Yeah.
No.
Gotcha.
But it's just very humid. Go in the fall.
Yeah, it's been super humid up here lately, and like I think it is right now too. You just walk outside and you're like, whoa! It's just a wall of water.
Yes.
Yeah.
We walk outside and we're just sweat. Top Golf was rough.
Is that outside? So, even Angry Birds is outside?
Everything's outside. Because the Angry Birds, it's like, it shows you the range. I don't know, like where the little holes. Have you been to Top Golf? Ever?
You're going to have to ask that again because you disappeared.
Have you been to Top Golf?
No, I've never heard of it until you and David talked about it.
So they have like different holes that you aim for, and like the farther back you go, the more points you get. I don't know how to hit a golf club, so mine are real rough. But the Angry Birds game, it's like between dots or between the holes, and so as long as you get in the vicinity, you're good.
Oh, okay.
And so the fact that I can't aim makes me okay at that game.
Gotcha. Okay. I used to like to play Angry Birds on my phone. Back in the day.
No, it's fun. Like, that's my favorite part of it. Because the other I'm just not very good at. But you should go. It's fun.
I probably will never go, to be honest. Yeah. It's just...
That's fair.
Golfing is not...
Unless we drag you there.
Yeah, and then you have to, like... You just be serious dragging. Like, I just not... I grew up in Naples, Florida, which is, like, the golf capital of the world. True. So like, I'm just over golf.
That's
yeah.
True. That's fair. I like putt-putt.
Yeah, I mean, putt-putt I don't mind. I haven't done it when I was old enough to drink.
Well, they don't serve alcohol usually.
Yeah, so that's why this brewery is going to be unique.
Yeah. You'll have to tell me once it opens.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it because it's really close to home. So.
Ooh. So when we come visit, we can go play putt-putt at the brewery.
Yeah. What if it turns out? Yeah.
Did I freeze or did you freeze?
I'm okay.
Was that you or me that froze?
You're like just grainy. I'm just going to keep staring at the camera. So. Because I edited last night our video from the previous one, and your video is perfect. So it's a lot of me going, you just froze, but you're just like normal. So our viewers are not going to understand what the heck I'm talking about. But so that's why every time you freeze now, I'm just going. And
you're just waiting. Again.
That's hilarious. What great timing. I'll just smile.
Hey. Am I back?
Yes, you're back.
Okay.
What does your shirt say? I think you've worn that before, but plant the flag. That's right. The Oklahoma Sooners. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Baker Mayfield.
What was it? You said Baker's?
Baker Mayfield. He planted the OU flag at Ohio State.
We need to get Allison fiber. Everybody, I want you to drop a comment below. Allison has to get fiber connection.
We're waiting. No, he planted the OU flag against Ohio State.
Got it. Okay. That's all starting again here soon, right? The ball and the feet. Football. Sorry, I said that backwards.
Yeah. Sports balls.
Sport ball. Yes, sports balls. Thursday night. Watch something else night.
I don't like NFL. I just like college.
Gotcha. Anything ServiceNow over the weekend?
No, I literally did not touch my computer.
I don't know how you do that.
I did nothing. Did nothing over the weekend that was work related.
That's awesome. Good for you. I'm glad you had a rough week. For those who are watching, or listening, we recorded our last one before the weekend, and this one's after the weekend. So it's nice to see Allison actually smiling.
Well, it's only Monday at 1.
Yeah. So. And then something else happened on Friday. I don't know if that happened before or after you checked out, but...
I actually took my family first on Friday, so I was off at noon.
Good.
Okay, good.
I don't know when it happened, but yeah, we can't talk about it here anyway. So
okay. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I was ServiceNowing all weekend, so I was unlike you.
Which thing? Which ServiceNow thing were you doing?
I was mostly working through the features for Vancouver. So I'm down to less than 50 release note pages from about 200 and something, and I'm at 500 and some features, slowly creeping up on the 699 Tokyo. So I've already passed Tokyo on the Utah feature count. So yeah, I just like drinking it all in. Most of what I'm doing is like copy paste into my database, but I'm kind of taking it in at the same time. So there's just tons of good stuff. So.
Does your significant other think you're nuts because you do that on the weekends?
Not really. I do it like while we're watching TV because it's something I can do while we've been watching The Witcher, which is actually we're on season 1. It's pretty good, and so
David loves The Witcher. Yeah, so I haven't watched.
I'm trying to get him to watch Warrior. You have to help me. Yes,
Warrior.
It's on Max. Used to be called HBO Max.
Yeah. We watched Sinister with Ethan Hawke yesterday.
Is that a movie?
Yeah.
Is it good?
Yeah, it was different. I mean, it wasn't like because I don't do like demons and things. I think I've told you that. Like I don't mind thrillery ghosts, but like I don't do the other. So I mean, like I got through it and I didn't have nightmares, so I'm good. But I really like Ethan Hawke. So
yeah, usually he's pretty good.
Watching.
Did you watch The Witcher with David?
No, he watched that. He's been watching that since I think before we ever got together. Because I think there's like 4 seasons.
Yeah, there's a bunch. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think he's got a couple new episodes to watch. And then he wants to watch Evil Dead Rise, which... Nope.
That's the Walking Dead one, right?
I will not be watching. No, it's Evil Dead, like the series. It's a new movie. I don't know. And then we watched Super Mario Brothers last night.
How's that movie?
The new one. It was cute. I mean, Chris Pratt didn't sound like Chris Pratt, but Jack Black was Bowser.
Oh, that's appropriate.
I think he was my favorite character the whole
Did you ever play Mario Brothers?
Oh, yeah.
So that must have been cool to
So
watch
we
it.
have a Nintendo Wii, and we have the original Mario's 1 and 3.
Yeah, it's the best.
There. Yeah. I never liked the second.
I don't even remember the second one. It was 1 and 3.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
we have those on the...
We do that every time you freeze.
Except I know how to skip all the levels. So.
Did you hear anything I said?
Yeah, I heard your...
Okay. You were frozen, so I was like...
Oh. No, did you used to skip all the levels on the first one because you knew where the whistles or where the little drain pipes were?
I think if you jumped up high enough and then you'd... Yeah, my brother showed me that, but I liked actually playing it, so...
And then on 3, you knew where all the whistles were.
That I don't remember, whistles. But 3 was harder. It wasn't... Yeah, it wasn't as easy. We're talking like my childhood now. This is like I'm 10, 11 years old.
And then Mario Party. I used to love Mario Party. It was on Nintendo 64, though.
Yeah, we had to go to a friend's house for that one.
Yeah. And same with Mario Kart. I actually have the little steering wheels for the Wii.
Oh my gosh.
I've had my Wii for... See, I bought it in 2008, and it still works.
That's impressive.
It says it's like 12 hours off of whatever time it is, no matter what time I set it to.
It must be like, what's 12 hours away from us? India?
Australia is 16, so it's not.
India is a little bit closer. Somewhere in Africa, maybe?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. But it's like every time we turn it on, it says 2 a.m. Like every time. Doesn't matter. It's 2 a.m.
Huh.
So it won't connect to the internet anymore, which is fine.
Is it because it's so old that it doesn't have like wireless?
I guess we had to buy. It still had the little 3-prong input. It still had like the 3-prong input. Am I still
okay? You're back.
Okay. So it still had like the old like 3-thing inputs that were like red.
Oh my god, I'm gonna have to edit all this out.
Can you hear me?
Oh, you're back.
Okay. So it still had the old school input.
I'm gonna do something real quick, okay? I'm gonna flip us to low data mode. We've never done this before, but what's gonna happen is you're only gonna see your video, and I'm only gonna see my video, but it should fix a lot of the freezing. You ready?
Okay. I'm ready.
All right, low data mode for all. You enabled low data mode. Can you hear me? Okay, yeah. I can hear you, but I can't see you. You can't see me, right?
Okay. No, I can't.
I'm just making all kinds of stuff now. Okay.
That's fine. You'll just be making faces at
me. Yeah,
me.
this way at least you shouldn't freeze on me, which is good.
Yes.
So what were you saying?
So it has one of the old school inputs where they're like blue, red, and green, and you like plug them into the back.
Oh, the RCA. Yes.
Yes. So we had to buy a converter.
Yeah. RCA to HDMI?
To convert it to HDMI because the TV doesn't have the old inputs.
We have in the living room, we don't use the TV in the living room, and there's a bag of wires, and they're all like RCA cables, coaxial cables, and I just need to throw them away, but it's just...
Yeah. We had to order one because I couldn't find one. Do what?
This is even weirder when I can't see you.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, now you're back.
Okay. We just need the fiber, people.
Yeah, well, you didn't have to. You just have this issue. I don't know what's changed in your house.
Yeah, I need to move one of the little pods in here and plug it in and see if that does anything.
Or like put some tinfoil on like your top of your screen or something.
Or my head, like on the Sixth Sense.
You remember when you had the bunny ears and you put tinfoil on it to get the better connection?
Yes.
You might have been too young for that.
No, we had to do that. Just like we had to put it on channel 3 to play Nintendo.
Yes. Oh, wow. Yes. Forgot about that.
Mm-hmm. I don't know why. Or to use the VCR.
And you had when you had channels that you didn't have, it would be like... And now there's just no input, is what it says.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't.
Yeah, apparently DirecTV and ABC are in a fight because we can't get ABC right now.
Is that your local news?
Well, we get DirecTV during baseball season because it's the only place you can watch the Braves.
He's a Braves fan?
So, yeah. Yeah, I had no allegiance, so I am now also a Braves fan.
Yep,
I
there you go.
can't hear you if you're talking. Oh, okay. I was like, I can't hear you.
I lost you. I was saying he's a Braves fan?
He is, and I am now because I had no allegiance before.
You're a Braves by default fan?
I am. But I've learned to stop liking players because they
Really?
just leave and I get upset.
Yeah, this isn't helping. There you are. Your wireless sucks. I'm saying it.
I know. I'll go get a pod and see if it.
You need to run a
fixes it
wire
after
to your router.
Well, our router's in the living room, but when I connected directly to the pod before, it worked better.
What kind of routers are you using, if you don't mind sharing? I've never heard the word pod before.
So we have like a normal router, but then like to get to the different rooms in our house, they gave us these little pods that act as extenders.
Gotcha.
And then we also have Google Mesh.
Your house is so big and you're so fancy, you need extenders. I got it. Yeah.
It's not so big. It's just we have a pod in my old office because I was plugging directly into it. We have a pod in the garage because when we work out, we have a smart TV. And then there's a pod out in his garage so he can do his golfing.
And work. Doesn't he work out there?
Yeah, he works out there now, but that's the only reason we have the pods is because we have it go to the garage and then out to that. We bought the third one so I could plug into it and see if it helped, and it did. So.
Meanwhile, I paid electricians to run a wire 7 feet underground from the house to my office so that I didn't have to use wireless.
No. Well, once we get fiber, like the fiber's in the ground. We just have to wait for them to...
It's not going to fix your Wi-Fi, though. That's the problem.
No, but I can get like a direct like outlet in here.
You'll run a cable? Is that what you're saying?
Well, I could see like what it would cost just to do one like in this room.
Can you say that again?
Because it's probably... I said, I doubt it's that expensive just to get one put in my room, like my office.
So you run a cable through the walls to your office?
Yeah.
It shouldn't be too... I mean, it's not going to be cheap, but...
I'm spoiled because my grandpa ran telephone lines his entire life, and so anytime I needed like something moved, he would just come do it. At one point, I could fish a wall, and I was very good at it. I don't think I could do it anymore, but...
Yeah, I mean, it's doable. I wouldn't want to do it, but...
I'm not gonna do it.
There
are certain things I don't mess with, and electricity is one of them.
I have, I can mail it down to you. It's a 100-foot Ethernet cable, but it's flat. It's a completely flat. So you can run it discreetly, like along, like between the carpet and the wall, like just tuck it down in there.
Yeah.
That's what I used to use before I built the office.
Nice. Now, are you in like a shed that you would buy at Lowe's?
Yes.
Okay.
They built it on site, like that came prefabbed, and then I'm like, put it there, and then they built it. I was nicer than that, but
put it there.
they built it, and then Then I had the electricians come out, run electricity and what do you call that? Ethernet from the house. And then once that was done and the permitting people signed off, then I built out the interior like you would a house.
Yeah, nice.
And it has no windows. Except for the door.
But doesn't it have like a screen door?
Yeah, it has a storm door. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't want to fight with the sun and my lighting, so... Yeah. So I may not be able to show you what I wanted to show you today, but maybe we can talk through it.
Yeah.
Because I know...
You could try to for me.
Well, I could, yeah. Will you tell me if it... Like, message me, I guess, if it freezes or something.
Okay.
But let me share my screen. Select screen, entire screen, that screen, share. All right. It's showing dots for me, not showing it.
I see dots.
We'll wait for it here. Actually, while we're waiting, I can...
There we go. I see it.
Okay. So I'm working on this Jira Spoke video series. It's a little bit different than the previous one I did because it's not using the Atlassian integration that's pre-built by ServiceNow. And what I found that was interesting, and the reason I want to show you this because I was wondering if there's an equivalent to this in Flow, where you do your workflows. What is it called?
Just workflow editor.
Workflow editor. Yes, that. Okay, so I'm gonna. You know what an issue is in Jira, right?
Yes.
Oh, and by the way, you're seeing the new Vancouver Flow Designer page. By the way, so there's this create issue action. An action. Do you know what an action is? Do I need to explain that? Okay.
I do.
If I'm mansplaining, just tell me to shut up and move on.
You're good. I will.
So what I was surprised about, and I use Flow Designer a lot, was this thing, dynamic choice. And I was like, so this is where it gets a little circular and a little weird, but the choice for project key is actually the options to pick from are coming from another action in the spoke.
Okay.
So normally there it goes, get project spoke or get projects action.
Yeah.
So normally when you turn on a spoke and start using it, the first thing you want to do is test it, right? Make sure your connection's working, you got secured are you still there? Okay.
Yes, I'm still
So you test it. Well, in order to test this one, to say, hey, I'm going to create an issue, before you even do anything, it starts using itself. So this get projects metadata, if I go to back to the actions, we'll search for get projects. Here's the metadata one. They just updated it from the previous version for Vancouver. It goes and it uses the spoke. Oh no, now I gotta blur this out. It uses a spoke to go get the list of projects in order to use the action. And I was like, okay, that's different. I'm not used to seeing that. Well, first of all, I didn't know you could...
Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here. I'll wait.
Okay.
Yes, you can hear me?
Yeah.
So I think the first thing I didn't know about this dynamic choice, dynamic inputs. So I thought that was cool that you could query something. You could, in theory, query something from the platform to present a list of choices. It's almost like what we call a lookup table, I guess. In the old days. Did I say that right?
Yeah, I think that's right. That sounds right.
And then the fact that the spoke is using itself to configure itself seemed a bit circular to me. And I was like, I wonder, is there a similar kind of thing in the workflow editor?
I mean, you can do subflows and stuff, but I don't think you can do what you're describing. Okay. They've pretty much quit working on Flow Designer. Okay. And I haven't built a flow or workflow in probably 3 years.
Oh, wow. I'm building one every day. Okay, so we're totally different places, I guess. Yeah. You're all important and
I wouldn't go that far.
Make important decisions.
Well, it's just, even when I'm on projects, I'm the TA and...
What does that sound? It says I can't see you anymore.
Oh, sorry. I was clicking a pen.
Oh, okay. No, I was like, she's clipping her nails, or it's something else. And if she's clipping her nails, I gotta tell her the video is still recording her.
Oh, I know. No, I was clicking a pen on my desk. You couldn't even see what I was doing.
Okay.
So, there's one with a cap. So.
See how concerned I am about production? I'm just like...
About my quality of... Maybe someone was intruding. You don't know.
I had... this is totally random. And when I was in college, this woman... She was an adult. She wasn't a student. Or she wasn't a child student. She would clip her nails during health class. Like, in this tiny little classroom, she'd be sitting back there.
You can't see my face, but I made a really bad face.
I hated it. It drove me nuts. I was just like, why are you doing this in health class?
Yeah.
I guess I should stop sharing that, but I was excited
about
sharing that with you. And
I need to play more with Flow Designer because it was like coming in as I was like almost getting out of technical roles.
Something very sad happened last week. Sad to me.
Oh,
worse than your stuff last week. It came across one of my videos. I was flattered, right? Like, hey, that's awesome. So they took what I did in Flow Designer. They put it in a business rule. I was like, oh, geez, they're just not getting that. Like, you could have done that in Flow Designer.
What?
Yeah. They built a business rule and wrote a script.
Interesting.
Yeah. They made me sad. Some people are very set in their ways. And they obviously understood the system well enough to translate what I was doing into, I could do that into a business rule and a script.
Yeah.
But
interesting.
I like the how do I want to say this? The transportability of knowledge that flows have over scripting.
That's fair.
So I'll leave it at that.
That was very PC of you.
Not trying to be, but I was trying to make, I don't know. I'm passionate about it, but I don't want to be annoying about it, if that makes sense.
You're not. I don't think I would ever associate the word annoying with you. So.
Good, thank you.
Yeah.
Well, we have 1 minute left. I think you have a hard stop.
I do. I have to work with Connor on an ET.
I saw that. He actually messaged me just a second ago. But I hope you have fun with Connor.
Thank you. I will. It's always fun with Connor.
He's. We'll have to have him on again. We need to schedule our next guest since Jake went up. And
yes.
I think Stephanie or Jim.
Stephanie would love it. Yes.
And she's now in the States, right?
Yeah, she's Virginia now.
Virginia? Oh my gosh, so close.
Yeah. She's in Northern Virginia.
All right. We'll test to see if she's listening, and we'll share her address in Virginia and see if she's actually listening.
Well, that's why I didn't say where it was. I stopped myself and said Northern Virginia.
So farther away from Justin, and then by default farther away from you. Okay, we got to wrap. You got to go.
All right.
It's been fun. See you next time. Thanks, Allison.
Yeah.
All right.
Bye.
See you.